everybody, this is Lewis, Charming Man 93, and this is an advertisement, because Lord knows, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So why don't you come and donate to my Patreon? I need that dough. I want to make this a full-time job, and with your help, I can make it to the YouTube top dollar. I would also like you to come and join my Discord server, and you get to see all my videos first before everybody else. And don't forget to comment, share, and smash that fucking like button. Hello everybody, and today we've got an interesting story from the Daily Mail, also from the Metro, about two arrested over Facebook and YouTube video of Koran burning amid spate of race attacks in wake of London and Manchester terror attacks. Now, already we have an issue here with the word race, but let's just continue. Let's get into the article itself. Police have arrested two people on suspicion of racial hatred after a video appeared online showing a man burning a copy of the Koran. The video, which Mail Online has chosen not to publish, well, that's a shame. I would like to see it so I can gauge for myself whether or not it's blasphemous or not, or if it's going to raise racial hatred in England, or if it's going to cause that. But hey, whatever. You all know what I think about that. Anyway, it goes on to say, it shows a tattooed man standing in a kitchen complaining about being unable to start a fire. Speaking into the camera, he says, "I've been trying to get my epoxy fire started for half hour, wondering what shit I can get going with. Holding a paperback copy of the Koran up to the camera he had, and then I found this." Now, already we can kind of see that this guy is intentionally doing this on purpose to kick up a storm. He has a political point to make, but not a racial point here. He's not mentioning anything to do with race, is he? And yet he's being charged, and this other person is being charged with suspicion of racial hatred. But Muslims aren't a race. Muslims can be any race. They can be white, as in Bosnia and Chechnya, loads of other places. They could be Chinese. In fact, China does have an issue with Islamic terrorism, or at least did in the past, in one particular province, which is where a lot of them live. They can be brown. In fact, that's where probably most of them are, although the country with the most Muslims is Indonesia, and they're, well, Asian. They're a very diverse country, but you can imagine what they're going to look like. So yeah, how can you be arrested for racial hatred when it's not a race? Like, surely it should be something else, but whatever, this is a situation we currently live in. Two videos were posted on Facebook and YouTube on Tuesday and are still available today on various pages. The second shows the man standing outside, tearing pages from the holy book and throwing them on a bonfire. He says to the camera, "And it worked. All I've got left is the epoxy shitty cover, and look, that's on the fire as well." So they're being arrested for racial hatred, yet they've not actually mentioned anything about brown skin or anything like that. It seems to me to be a political statement to members of the Islamic faith, saying that we don't care about what you think, you cannot control us. That's what it seems like to me. It's a political statement, but it's not a statement of racial hatred or anything like that. But let's continue. West Mercia Police, which is in the Midlands, have confirmed that they have arrested two people in connection with the video. The detective said that a 45-year-old man from Worcestershire was arrested on suspicion of posting videos or images likely to cause racial hatred, and the 45-year-old woman from Evesham has been arrested on suspicion of inciting racial hatred. But how would this incite anything? They're burning a book to show that they don't agree with it. They don't want that kind of ideology here. But they're not saying that they can't live there, but whatever. I've not seen the video. They're not showing us the video so we can judge for ourselves, which is very interesting. The Superintendent Kevin Purcell said that this was a concerning incident and we'll be carrying out a thorough investigation. It is being investigated as a hate crime. But how is it a hate crime? To me, a hate crime has to be done against a person or persons, not a book. The book is a symbol, yes. The book is a holy text, but they wouldn't be doing this if it was a Bible, would they? If they burned the Bible, nobody would batter an eyelid, would they? You might get a few murmurs and angry letters from Protestants or Catholics, but you wouldn't be asking for them to be arrested. You wouldn't see Christians doing that in this country, mainly because most people who are Christian aren't actually Christian. But that's a very interesting point there. Racial hatred with the Quran, but not with the Bible, or hell, even any other text apparently. But let's just continue. We have been in contact with our local Muslim community via Councillor Jabba Riaz, Deputy Mayor for Worcester, who as always acts as a critical friend in support of what we do. Yes, very critical indeed. Get these guys done for racial hatred. Make sure that my ideology is protected, even though currently it's causing a lot of the major problems that we're currently seeing in society today. But let's just ignore that fact. If anyone has any concerns about social media posts that potentially incite hate, I would urge them not to share the post, but to report the incident to the police and social media company at the earliest opportunity. But they weren't telling anybody to do anything. They weren't inciting anything. They just burned it. You can burn something and not incite anything. So are they saying just by doing the act, that would make other people do it? But that's just saying that they've got these magical psychic powers that can turn people into racists, when the stuff that has been quoted doesn't mention that. Very interesting. Copies of the Koran are treated with high regard by Muslims, and any move to desecrate or destroy the book is seen as an insult. Yes, such an insult that you could be killed for it, or have a fatwa on you. For example, just making a book based on the satanic verses, which I think were removed from the Koran a long time ago, by Salman Rushdie, can offer you a death sentence. He nearly died when the fatwa was issued on him, and he had to have a police escort. He had to be essentially a recluse so he could protect himself from this crazy ideology. But you know, that's not the worst of it. It comes as a press association investigation found Facebook and Twitter had failed to take down a number of misleading videos posted by nationalist group Britain First. Now yeah, Britain First are annoying. They do things that I think we probably shouldn't be doing in regards to Islam, that they go in and they basically break into mosques and cause a stir, trying to rile people up, and that's not going to solve any issue. That's going to make everything worse and make them even more defensive than they already are. They're not the best. They're essentially a more well, this is the thing, they're a more extreme version of EDL, but again, they're a minority group. Most people are against them. I myself don't like Britain First, and you know, just stuff like this is probably the most, I don't know, least problematic thing I've seen from them. I know, problematic, but it's true. This is something that is light in comparison to what they've done before. Plus, they themselves are quite heavily Christian. It's very weird. Anyway, since April 19th, the group has posted at least 10 videos containing scenes substantially different to those described in comments by the group. I don't know what they're referring to here. I know there's a Facebook group, but what do they mean by this? These videos have been shared almost 7,000 times altogether. Videos posted by the group often target minority groups, and analysis found they consistently posted false claims about the circumstances being shown, including untrue claims that Muslims and migrants had attacked women and police. Well, they have attacked women, and I'm sure that they have attacked police, but what are these untrue claims, and what are these stories that they're sharing that are untrue? If these things have happened, I would like to see them for myself. It doesn't take much to put a link in there, a hyperlink, but whatever. Their verified Facebook page has over 1.8 million likes, which is more than the Conservative, Labour and Lib Dem parties combined, which says a lot. That the major parties have smaller Facebook presences than this group of extremists, and I think that says a lot. I think this says a lot about the desperation of some people in this country who are seeing this type of ideology affect their communities, and have turned into these stupid groups like the Britain First who have the wrong idea on how to go about all of this, and instead, rather than the Conservative, Labour and Lib Dems, who are far more likely to appease these people and to join in with the whole bullshit of change your Facebook cover, make love not war, hashtag not all Muslims and stuff like that. People are sick of it, and that's why they've got more likes in there. And I think they need to wake up and see that maybe they need to do something about this. Anyway, their Twitter following is far smaller because I don't know why. Their unverified Britain First HQ account is just short of 13,000 followers, though leader Paul Golding has 28,000 and his deputy Jada Franson has 29. To be honest, considering how irrelevant they actually are, that's quite a lot. 13,000 followers, 28,000, 29,000. But again, most of that is probably from of the various media appearances they had when they first broke into the scene. Despite social networks now seeing high-profile measures to tackle fake news, but this isn't really fake news, is it? This guy burned a Koran as a political statement. That's not fake news. And the other things, well, I can't verify they're fake news because you wouldn't post the links, Daily Mail. In recent months, the content remained on both platforms days after it was alerted to them by the PA. Well, you know, they're busy going after all the fake news, so they can't really get to all the important hate shit, right? So, you know, just saying. Facebook said it is investigating the posts, and it understands that misleading information can be harmful to our community. We want to do our best to address it. When Mail Online contacted Facebook regarding the Koran burning footage, it asked for links to the video and said it would investigate. Well, personally, I don't think these people should be arrested for inciting racial hatred because they weren't inciting racial hatred from what I can read. Islam isn't a race, Muslims aren't a race. The Muslims in the UK come from a variety of different countries and nationalities and ethnicities. The original ones that came over here in the 40s, 50s and 60s are most likely to be Pakistani, who are basically Indians. You are the same people. You are Bengalis, you're Northern Indians, Southern Indians, Nepalese. You know, you're all... Well, okay, Nepalese are different, but you know what I mean, people. And then, obviously, we have some from the Arabian colonies. We've got some people from Africa as well. How can you... What race are they inciting hatred against, exactly? We've even got white ones. We've even got people who aren't white at all, who are Muslim, but aren't Indian or Pakistani, the usual ones in our country that we associate the religion with. So, again, what were they inciting? Who were they inciting to? And who were they inciting to commit these crimes? White people? Sikhs who don't like Muslims? Hindus who also don't like Muslims? In fact, there's probably even more of a rivalry there. I don't know. But don't you think that this is just typical? When you make a political statement about the Bible and burn that, in this country at least, nobody would really frown over it. You might get a few angry letters and calls for it to be taken down. It might be taken down, but it wouldn't be taken seriously. But with the Quran, immediately, oh, inciting racial hatred, you've got to be arrested for this. It's appeasement. We're appeasing a group of people, or rather just an ideology. Really, the people are not necessarily the same and have different interpretations of it. We're basically appeasing this ideology and allowing them to get away with more stuff than, say, a Christian would, or a Sikh would, or a Hindu would. And that's not right. And the laws that we're using to arrest people for are the completely wrong laws, because this is not a race. This is just a religious demographic. But, I don't know. The more stuff like this happens, the more terrorism is going to just increase, because this is not the way we go about things. I don't agree with how Britain first go about things. I don't think you even need to burn a Quran in order to solve the issue of what Islam of the issues that Islam causes. I think you can do it in a much different way. You can probably do it in a much more intelligent way. For example, let's start getting communities to actually talk to each other. There was actually a story where Britain First, or yeah, it was Britain First, it could have been the EDL, were actually invited into a mosque by the Muslims that they were supposed to be causing trouble with, and they had tea and biscuits and had a chat. That's how you go about things, in my opinion. You bring them to the table, you make people aware of all the issues that each community has, and then we try and solve it, right? But hey, no. Apparently we should just arrest people for making dumb political statements, because if you want to know anything about Britain First, the people who make it up aren't the smartest. They're hardly intelligent. They're not very good at when it comes to things like this. But anyway, I've just taken enough of your time, people. I disagree with the arrests. I disagree with the methods, because I don't think we need to burn stuff. You can do it. I'm all in favour of burning anything you want, as long as nobody gets hurt or injured or killed or properties damaged, apart from the book. But if it's your own book that you bought, go ahead. And that's it. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.